I'm Dr. Candy Forde, and I practice in Gulfport, Mississippi with my husband, Dr. Justin Forde. We've been practicing since 2014, so almost 10 years. And the first 5 years, we did things on our own. We bought a practice from a retiring chiropractor, very quickly realized it was under false pretense and a very illegal practice. Illegal insurance billing, illegal charges, and the only hope that we held on to is that God had placed us there because those patients needed help. And we were very honest people. We felt like we got the short end of the stick from what was told to us in school. But we made it work the best that we could. I say that it took 10 months our first year to draw a $168 check to ourselves for the work we'd been doing. And that's what we made for 2 years, $168 each per month. I was the top salesperson at Michael Kors because I had to make it work in my first 2 years of practice. And I also taught night classes at community college in anatomy because I had my doctorate in anatomy. And it was something that would sustain us and give us a little bit more income to be able to survive. In our third year in practice, I got pregnant with our first son, and I lost what little bit of patient base I had. I lost 90% of them from not, during my pregnancy and maternity leave, from not having Dr. Justin adjust my patients before I left because I thought everybody loved us. I just didn't have a system set up that would sustain my practice. And we waited 8 hours each day, each doctor, for patients to come in. We had no marketing. We had no money for marketing. And it was a very hard struggle. At year 5, we were getting nervous. I was pregnant with our second child, a little girl, and we reached out to some friends, different marketing companies, different management companies, seeing what would be a better fit. We did not want to lose 90% of the patients on my side of the practice again because we were seeing together about 100 patients a week, and it was the best we'd ever had. So we couldn't lose it again. And I had not had the birth that I wanted the first time and needed more recovery. And if that had happened again, I needed to be able to take the time off to be with our 2-year-old and our newborn. We called around. We interviewed doctors that we'd graduated with that were doing very well. Their different management companies found people who did not do well in management companies, got the honest opinion from everything, and we ended up with Aligned, AMC, from a doctor that graduated with us, was in our study group, knew us very well, and just said, you guys have so much more potential than what you're doing right now. And I really think that this company is for you. They would be for your practice, for your family. And I was on the call with some of the doctors, just seeing if it was a fit. And they also agreed, you have so much more potential and so much more to offer your community. And you can be a leader in your community. We can help you get there, but they were not pushy at all. It was very much something that we had to decide. And without my husband knowing, 2 times in my life, I've taken a leap of faith when my innate has told me to do that. And that was one time I signed us up. And by email got our contract and signed it while I was out on a walk talking to the doctor. And when I got home, I said, we're AMC members. And he said, okay. So that was in November of 2018. That was 5 years into practice. And we attended our first summit a few months later. And we have grown ever since. We had to get a lot of things out of our head that this other doctor had placed in our head. We had to grow from the hard years and know that, God had brought us this far and he was not going to drop us. By all means, looking at our numbers by that 5-year mark before AMC, most people would say it was sustainable, but we knew we could be better and we knew we could offer better, and we needed a system to be in place so that we would not lose any more patients. So the first year in AMC, I gave birth to our daughter, and we retained 90% of the patients whenever I went out on a 3-month maternity leave. And because we had, AMC walked us through being able to have Dr. Justin come in and do what I was doing with patients. And since then, every year has been our best year ever for 5 years. We're coming up on our 5-year mark. And whether that was $100,000 growth many years, $50,000 growth the other years, that sustainable practice, that potential that was seen in us just blossomed. And it's so funny to hear it now and every year think, wow, what a year, look what we've done. And somebody's right behind you saying, you're just not done. You're nowhere near done. There's so much more for you. And having someone and having a team speak into you that potential that they see is so important. And, AMC opened their arms to our family. They knew that our family needed help, and they helped us. They helped us be better parents. They helped us be better people, better chiropractors, better leaders in the community. But, we're so excited to be at a point to give back to AMC, and maybe that's our next step. But always seeing that next step, seeing that there's so much more that can be done and so much more potential that can develop just from saying yes to letting a company feed into you is exactly where we have been for the last 5 years, and we plan to continue for many more.